Hello everyone and welcome back to our live streams. This is the first live stream of 2020. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and a happy new year. Thank you for being patient and let me have a little break. It's been nice to get a bit of time with the family and time to recuperate. But we're back and we're back with a swing into our Zombies Ate My Neighbours remake. If you don't know what this is a live stream where I am attempting to remake the classic SNES Genesis Mega Drive game called Zombies Ate My Neighbours. If you don't know what the game is, check out, Google it, you'll find it. And it's a personal favourite of mine when I was growing up, so I thought I'd give it a shot at trying to remake it. This is episode 6 of this, and what we're doing is we're making it live. I'm not doing anything prep-wise for it. You're seeing it made in real time in front of your eyes. Warts and all. So if you'll see me come across bugs, you'll see me trying to solve problems, and that's hopefully what I'm get you guys to take away from these live streams is seeing my process, how I combat problems, how I solve them, and how we put together a game. So prior to this, we've got it set up with our our player character. And their main weapon, which is the water pistol. All the artwork, of course, is just placeholder, really. And we've made it trampolines, which do sorts of things, like so. We make it so it's it's almost like a dual stick shooter, and you collect with neighbours and open up the exit. So what I really wanted to get doing tonight is work on a gameplay loop, get more UI stuff done. And basically get the game so we have that loop involved. Once we've got the loop involved, we will then start adding further features like opening doors, destroying walls, things like that. And adding niceties to the project as well, like physics, particle effects, things like that, down the line. So we'll see how far we get. But we've got sort of basic weapons and soda cans we can throw, like grenades. Yeah, simple stuff. So I've got chat open. So hello Kim and hello everyone else watching. I can see there's a lot of people watching. By all means, you can say hello, ask any questions you like. I'll try and keep an eye on it as we go, but we'll see how we fare. Yeah. So let's get going. I've got some background music to keep it quiet. If that's not too loud, you guys can hear it just fine. Okay, so as I said, we'll work on the gameplay loop. So that involves making the start screen, the game screen, which we've got here, and then the end screen, which tally up the scores. So my process for this is going to be. Let's think about this. Well, first of all, I want to make a UI animation for our load screen. So I'm going to create a widget blueprint, and that'll be level start screen. And if you don't know what this is it's all black, and then it brings in the title of the level number, and introduces the level to the player. So for this, I've downloaded some font, which I want to bring in here. I'm just going to make a new folder here for font. And I'm going to import that in, which I've got here. It's not exactly the same as the one from the game, but why can't I just drag that in? Oh wait, I've got the downloads. Wrong folder, hang on. This is a flash, there we go. So if I drag these in, import those in, yes, and yes. Okay, so there's my two fonts. I've got this one, like it's a bit hard to see, but there you go. Yeah, not too bad. It's quite close to the original. I don't know what difference is between the two of them. I don't know. So default font family, we can add that. And we can also add this one. Don't know what the difference is between this and this. Oh, one's italics. Okay. Okay, so that's the italic one. Okay. So I want the default one to be this. And the italic one to be this one. Okay. And we go italic. Save. Cool. Hello, Nasuno. Hello, Scavenge Games. Okay, so in here we can we'll clear that and go back to the UI. So level start screen. Yeah, I could do actually scavenge. I haven't really got any assets. They're all placeholder stuff. So once I get some proper assets, like this font, for example, I'll put a link in the description after the show's finished. So you can download these fonts. I just googled this on the font and found it. It's called Feast of the Flesh. But this is the only real asset. The rest of it's from Mixamo and stuff like that. But as I make assets, I'll put them on there. So I will be making custom assets for this, obviously. Pardon me, just taking a sip. Okay, so first of all, we need to make this all black. So drag a border into here, make it fill the screen, and change its offsets to be 0, 0. And the brush color of this is going to be black. Okay. Next, we've got some text. So the text here is a bit different. So we're going to center it. Let me just find my reference footage. Hang on. Zombies 8 my neighbors. Let's just find a video and see. I think it starts with a message. Yeah, rescue the neighbors in, and then that slides out in level 1 zombie panic. Okay. So we've got a message, and then we've got the level name and number. Okay. So this is going to be the message, and we're going to anchor it to the center of the screen. So I've changed the anchor here to center. Ooh, and I'm changing the position here to 0, 0. Notice when you do this, text or every widget defaults to the anchor to the top left-hand corner of the widget. If you want to change that, you change the alignment here. So this is normalized value. So 0.5 is middle. Middle. And I'll make that center justification on the text. And this will be the message. Okay. So for example, let's just type in the default of rescue the neighbors. Let's do the American spelling. Neighbors in. And I'm going to change the font of that. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. So luckily, this is all going to be entirely in blueprints. And we'll go for this. And change the size up. Like so. And we're going to wrap the text in... no. 800? No, let's change that to 1000. Yeah, there we go. I'll take size the content. There we go. So you've got rescue neighbors in, and then it'll come in with the next animation, which is the next text. So I'm just going to duplicate that text and just type in. We'll make these values variable in a minute, but I just want to get the right sizing done. Level 1, Shift Enter to make it. If we make a new line, it's Shift Enter. Level 1, what was it? Zombie panic. Okay. So like that. Okay, so we also obviously got a color as well to assign to it. As I said, we're going to try and replicate this as close as possible. So it's got a sort of gradient to it. I wonder if we can make a custom gradient sort of overlay. interesting problem to solve. Okay. So we've got colour and opacity. Okay. I wonder if we can make a gradient. I don't know how we'd do that though. Let's see if we can make a brush. It's be in there. Oh, slate brush. There you go. Okay. We'll come back to that one. I'll try and figure out a way to make it so it's gradated from the top to the bottom. But nonetheless, let's add a variable to this. So this will be font color. Oh, make sure I camel case it, otherwise I can't read it too well. And this will be a linear color. Is it a gradient color? Is gradient? No. Linear color. And we'll make the editable. And the default value for this, we're going to compile it. Set default value to be sort of an orangey. Orangey color. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the pre-construct. Now, the pre-construct handles things differently because if I change anything here, you'll see it in the designer view. So these two things are going to be variable. So I'm going to change the text here to this first one. This is going to be level message text and tick the is variable box. This one is going to be level title text and tick the variable box. My personal opinion is that you write after the title, the name of it, write down what kind of widget you're changing. Reason why is because it makes it really easy to see, without going into too much detail, what is what. So if I change level message text here in the pre-construct and set color, I've got to make a color, make slate color. There you go. If I compile that, you'll see it will change. Oh. And oh, opacity's down. Hang on. There you go. Okay. So I want that to affect both of them. So I'm going to do level title text as well. I do exactly the same here. I could just plug in the same thing there. Hi husband, happy new year to you guys too. Okay, so now I've got them both registered. And that's shown because it's in the pre-construct. Okay, the pre-construct allows you to see it inside the widget editor. Right, now the animation. So when we look at reference footage, you can see they sort of slam into view. Boom. And then slide out. Okay. In some levels, they even like shake a little bit. Let's see if I can find level 2. Level 2. I know it slides as well. Okay, maybe it's different. Maybe Genesis version has a little shake to it. Nonetheless, we'll make a little shake. More interesting to look at. Okay, so animation. So animation down here. Click on new animation. Go message intro. Actually, do whole movement. Message movement and a timeline. I'm going to hide the title for now. And with it selected, I'm going to add a track to it. I'm going to choose the message text. So it's going to affect the text in this. And on this track, we're going to add its transform because we're only changing its position, and that's on the transform. On the translation of the transform, you'll find that setting. So at the very start, we're going to change it in the Y by a negative number. So do negative 1000, like so. And then after, it'd be quite quick, so 0.5 seconds. Actually, no, we'll start at 0.5 seconds. And then after half a second again, we'll set that back to 0. And then after 1 second, add another keyframe, and then do the outro. Minus, no, not minus, type in 1000. Now slam it off the screen. Okay, so the whole animation looks like this. Okay, now the reason why you're getting that sort of jostle is chances are the graph of this isn't linear. So if I go to the curve editor, you can see where they're not linear. Okay, which is okay, but let's make them linear so it replicates exactly what we saw in the game. So here you've got different types of interpolations. If I change it to linear, you'll see it snaps the curves into a straight line. Like so. So now when I push play, it does that. Yeah. Earthborn Jim is asking, why do I use slate color instead of plugging the variable straight into color and opacity? Just curious. Okay, so the reason why you do that is because this thing requires a slate color. So if I disconnect this and hover over it, it says it needs a slate color structure. If I wanted to, I could go into making this a slate color, like so, yeah. And oh, hang on, let's get rid of this, and let's change that to a slate color. Change variable type. So now I can compile that, and I can change the color of this and take whether or not it inherits the color. I don't want it to inherit anything. It's basically not much different. It's just a slate color is a structure, a data structure, including a color and a rule, and that rule is whether or not it inherits that color from something else. But this I can just now plug straight into here if I wanted to. It's no difference. It's the same thing. No difference. It just requires different variables. That's all. Okay. So back to this. So we've changed that back to normal view here. Rescue neighbours in, and then we'll play the other animation. So if I want, I can actually do this all in one animation if I like. Okay, so here I can add another track, and I can select, well, first of all select level title thing, another track, level title text, and this thing is going to have similar sort of animation. So over here, we're going to add track for transform, and the translation for this at start, anyway, it can be negative 1000. After half a second, it's going to be 0. After 1 second, we'll end it and start the outro, which is going to be 1000. So now the whole animation has these two tracks on it. Let's go neighbours in. Level 1, Zombie Panic. And again, we've got the linear interpolation to do on that. So I'm going to go to the curve view. I can select all of these and then click the linear button. And there you go. Thanks for the follow, ZStorm123. Okay, so the whole thing looks like this. Boom. Boom. And out. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into my graph and I'm going to add some variables here for the text for each of those. So this will be level message. And this would be a text value. And click compile. And we're also going to make that editable and expose on spawn. Next, I'm going to duplicate this. And this is going to be called level title, level title. And on the pre-construct again, we're going to drag that in and set the text of each of those to the text we've got here. So we'll copy those over here. Set text. And this is the message text, so I can drag that in there. And so we set text. And that goes into the title. Okay. So now it's on the pre-construct, these things are actually empty because these have no default value. So let's just give them a default value. So the message for this one, rescue the neighbours in level title going to be level 1 zombie panic. Oh, I've got to put a new line there, so shift enter, get you a new line. Okay, and there you go. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we compile that and we're done with that screen. So at the start of the game, we're going to load up this screen as sort of a load screen, and then it'll start the game. So I've got two options. I can either make this a separate room, or I can start this level off showing that start screen. There's no real right way about it. You can do either. It may work best as a load screen. At the moment, we're not loading much. You don't really notice it. If you don't know what load screens are ways like curtains. Basically, they hide loading of the game. And once everything's loaded in, you then pull down the curtain and let the game play. So, what way should I do this? Maybe open level blueprints. Do begin play. And we'll create the widget. And we'll choose the level start. And here you can see the messages here. I can leave this default because this is level 1. And then I want to add that to viewport. Actually, let's promote that to a variable. Okay. Push play. Oh, I actually got tech to actually play the animations. So on the level start screen, on the graph here, on the construct, I'm going to drag our animation out and then set it to play. And what we'll do is once the animation is finished, which you can do if you've selected it, you can right click here and you can do, I think it's called finish animation. Yeah, animation finished. Do either that or that. We'll do this. And if it's finished, we just take it to remove from parent. So now play. I've got to set the level 1 to start elsewhere. That's on the transform. There we go. Yep, and there you go. Now, other things we can do is on the construct, actually on the level blueprint, begin play, get the player character, disable input, so you can't move, and then when the screen is finished, which is here, we'll get player character and enable the input. So I can't move until this screen's finished. Yep. Okay. Right, so next is when we get to the end of the level, we want to cut to the score screen. Okay. So we'll make another widget for this. And again, we want a black background. Like so. So again, look at reference images. Let's go to the start. Right here. Okay. So this is the level end of level screen. So we've got level complete, number of lives we've got, the score, and then it shows all the neighbours you've saved. Okay. So the level complete text can be basically the same every time. So I can drag that in and center that at the top. And we'll put that at the top there. Actually, we'll want this to be a vertical panel, don't we? I'll scrap that. Okay, vertical panel is going to go across the whole entire thing. Text block though is going to be in the center of that panel. It's going to say level complete. Hi, Gaming and Tech. Okay, do that. And the color of this is going to be the same as. Oh no, it's not the same. It's the different same. It's just red, isn't it? That do. Maybe this is how I do the gradient. I'll piss about that in a second. See if we can get that looking good. So then we've got the health, lives rather, and then the score with this period in the middle. So we'll do that. So next we'll have a horizontal box here, and this is going to have a number of images in it. So those are going to be inside the horizontal box. I'm just going to label this. So this is lives, current lives. And that'll store a load of images based on the lives we've got. And then we'll have text. Text. This one's just going to be a period. And another text block in there. And that's going to be the score. So let's just put in like 5 zeros for now. So let's change that to be the font we want. Look up the size. 100. That's 100. I want to make this color the same, so I'm just going to drag this up to my top here. Go there. Choose this. And then choose that there. Okay, so to get that center, sorry, that one center aligned and that's one right aligned. If we go fill for all of these. Okay, so now they've got even spacing. This text block here I can actually change to be center justified like that. This one I can change to be right justified like that. And this vertical box entirely, we can put some padding on it of say 20. And you get this. Cool. And then we're going to have a grid of all the lives we've saved, which I'm not too sure how we'll do just yet. In 2D it's easy because you've just got show sprites, but in 3D though, a bit trickier. We may eventually do it with sprites because it's just a lot easier. But in another case, we'll add that in. And we'll do that as... we'll do it as a grid panel. Oh, not in there. There we go. Okay, complete. Okay. So let's find the exit door. Okay, and we got in here. God, it's so long ago since we've done this door. We want to so we detect a collision with it, which we've got a box collision on it, which is good. Okay, so I'm going to use this door opening animation. So, box here, we're going to add an event on begin overlap. Other actor is equal to the player character. And put that into a branch. Okay, and then, but I only want to do this if the door opening animation is finished. So I'm going to drag that out. And I want to get where's time? Maybe playback position. Is that a normalized value? It must be. Must be a normalized value. Okay, so if that is greater than or equal to 1, and actually we don't want to do it when begin overlap because the player may be still overlapping it before it reaches 1. So I want this to trigger an event as well. Okay, well I know what to do. So we will do it for begin overlap, but we'll also do another one for when we just finish the animation. Oh wait, we've already done something. Yeah, begin overlap, door open. Have we already done it? Let's test this. Okay, let's pick up all the neighbours. Oh, I can't remember what it all are. Door opens. Okay, so that's the door disappearing. Okay. So we've already got that. I don't need to do. Don't need to do this. Just the door closing. So when it starts this, we're going to make the player character disappear. Right, we've already got this here, so disable input. The problem with doing this every 4 or 5 weeks, you forget what bits you have done, what you haven't done. Right, so let's disable the input and also make this invisible as well. So set visible, set active hidden again. And then, oh, we had it reverse from end, didn't we? Test that out. Hi Polylogic, thanks for the love. Up the dudes. Okay, and then when that happens, we'll tell it to then load up the end screen. Great widget. Score screen. And that'll do. And what we'll also do is we'll disable all the AI logic as well for this. So get all actors of class, and we want, what I call it, enemy parent. Yeah. Put it into a loop, and it's going to go around and turn them all off. So we'll get the AI controller. Oh, hello. Get brain component, and then stop logic. And that basically tells them to shut down, basically. Cool. Okay. So here comes the start. We go into the game. That zombie killed that neighbour there. We need to work on the zombie AI, I'm aware. It's not showing the... Oh, because I didn't add it to the viewport, did I? Add to viewport. There again. Cool. Okay. Let's work some UI stuff in. Actually, let's see if we can get that gradient working. I've never done a gradient on text before, so this would be cool to work out. So with the text selected, I can create a new material here. We'll go UI. Font gradient. Let's see if I can work out how to do a gradient. So I need two colors, need to start and end point. So let's make this orangey. And make this one that red. And then we're going to get a linear gradient. And what we'll do is we want it in the U gradient. We're going to multiply this by this, and that should get us it going from black to orange. We're then going to 1 minus, so it flips that gradient, and then multiply that together with this. So now you have it going from red to black. And then if we add these together, I don't think that'll work. It's going to look weird. Actually, it's not too bad actually. Okay. But I don't want it to be a U gradient, I want it to be a V gradient. So go into that. No. There you go. And we'll put that into base color. Apply that. Polylogic. The reason why I'm doing it is because I played it a lot when I was a kid, and it's just a fun project just to do. I thought it'd be fun to do live in front of you guys. Right, so now we've got this gradient going on. If I apply that to there and hide this. Not too sure how font materials work. I haven't done it before. No. Abidoody, we've been doing the start and end point of the gameplay loop, which is the UI stuff, so the start screen and end screen of Zombie Ate My Neighbours. At the moment, we're trying to get the font to have a gradient, and I'm messing about with the font material, and I haven't done font materials before, so I'm trying to work out why it won't show up here. I'm gonna let's hit the documentation. Put it on the other screen so you don't have to worry about seeing just me googling stuff. Oh wait, I know why. We go in here and we change the gradient here to not surface but user interface. That'll do it, won't it? Yeah, look, there it is. I can now get rid of that colour opacity and leave it as that. Oh, look at that. That's so much sexier. Why is that? Oh, it's because the font colour here. Let's delete this. Yes. We'll come back to that in a minute. I still want to customize what the font material would be. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, so let's test that out. Ah, that's much better. That looks much cooler. So let's do that for the end screen as well. So let's go back to my original concept. Okay, so we've got it applied to that as well. And get rid of that and apply the font gradient. And font gradient. Okay. So now we've got those gradients working inside the game. Have a look at how this works. The final in the end screen. Cool. Okay. So next job, it's let's have a look at our reference images again. Okay, so we can actually set up multiple materials because the next material you can see here has this effect going on. Okay. Yeah, we've got loads of stuff coming out of UMG for the public. Patrons have UMG stuff related to gamepad controls. So yeah, you need to check out that stuff. That'd be quite cool. Thank you, Flank, for the 100 sparks on Mixer. I need to turn out music. It's really loud in my ears. Hang on. There you go. Okie dokie. Okay, so speaking of UI stuff, let's work on the UI in the top of the screen. So let's again have a look at our reference images. Obviously we're going to update it, but we've got font material going on here with like a multiple gradient going on. So it's like goldy looking colour. And then we've got our bars and icons and so forth. So, right, let's go into that. This is the health bar. Nothing to look at. That's pretty already much like what it is here, but we could probably do more to it. Maybe make that graphics, in fact. Yeah, let's make material for that. Health bar mat. Again, using what we've learned here, let's change this first of all to a UI. And then get the two colours we want. And a linear gradient. Like so. And it's going to be a vertical one, so it's the V. And this gradient here is going to be that blue there. And this one is going to be, let's multiply that blue there. And we're going to multiply this with this to get that. And actually, let's multiply it with this one first. So we've got that at the bottom. And then it gets lighter at the top, so we do 1 minus. And multiply that with this. Then add these two together. And you get this effect. Okay. Save that. And health bar, we're going to change all of these. Oh my god, I've got to change them all. I'll tell you what, we'll make this clever. We'll put in a pre-construct. So size box, we'll do that. And we'll delete all these. Like so. Okay. Okay. Oh. So I'll duplicate that multiple times. So I'll go bar 1 And if I think it's Control W. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know how many there are. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay. I do. Compile that. You've got something a bit more up to date. Yeah, okay. Close that. And we'll make a new folder for this. UI. Materials. Oh, I've got space, that's why. Materials. And drag that in there. Okay. So we've got that. Now let's make the text font, the one that's like gold. Gold text font matte. Again, change that to UI. This one's a bit different because it's going to go from dark to light to dark again. So we need to, first we'll get the color or colors, and we need to get the dark, which should be almost like a brown, like so. And this one will be a lot brighter. Okay. So this, I need another gradient. So this is going to be. Do they have it already in here? That's the question. I don't think they do. Nope. Okay, let's do a linear gradient. So a linear gradient is, we want to take the V gradient of it. That. And we need to 1 minus it. Now if we multiply that to that, we'll get just black. Oh no, it's not too far off actually. If we just multiply that by this, what does that look like? Okay, okay. I need it to be whiter in the middle. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll multiply this again by 0.5, no, by 2. So we're going to multiply that one by this to get that version. No, we want to do this one. And then we're going to do 1 minus, which gets you the inverse of it, multiplied by this. We may have to divide that because it might be a bit too strong. Maybe. Add those two together. Yeah, I think it's too strong. So we need to divide that first. Let's see how that looks. Need to tighten up a little bit, don't I? Go into that, go into that. I need it to be tighter in the middle. How can I make it tighter in the middle? Okay, got an idea. let's start this again. I'm going to shift that all along. So if I add 1 to this, no, 0.5. Okay, yeah, 0.5. So you see, it goes gradient and then stops there. But then I'd want it to be tricky. Okay. Just want to mask out basically the middle section here. How can I do that? I mean, I could obviously make the graphic in Photoshop. That'd probably make it a lot quicker and easier, wouldn't it? Let's just do it in Photoshop rather than me trying to do it all by code. Right, let's load up. I just had a thought, just as I was deleting that. Oh, hello, wrong one. No, it'd be easier done in Photoshop. It's going to load. I think what we'll do is we'll just do this bit and then we'll call it a day because I can hear my daughter screaming. My wife's probably getting annoyed. Come on, Photoshop. Oh, I've got sign in, that's why. Oh, bear with. Yeah. It don't need to be high res. It's gonna be such a small thing on the screen. So I'm just gonna do 128 by 128. Yeah. And then get my gradient tool out. We've got this thing here, and if I tweak, not that, sorry. Click on this and then bring this up. Not there, sorry. Yeah. Bring that there, tighter there. I can then click and drag. Make it, oh, whatever, if I maybe invert it. You see what I mean? You get like a nice sharp line. Make that a bit bigger. I do. Right, save as. And we'll just do it, just do desktop. Metal gradient. And save that as, where was I saving it? Desktop. There you go. Metal gradient. Save that. Okay. Bring that into here. Port. Desktop. Gradient. Okay. Cool. Bring that in. Okay. Multiply this by here. And that will immediately get this sort of sharp effect. We then wonder if we just add that on to here, how would that look? Not too bad actually. We'll do that on a colour and apply that. Cool. So on the HUD here, this is the score. So the score text we can change it to our font that we're using, and the font here is going to have the font material. Gold, wasn't it? Gold text font. And you see it there with gold text. Okay, and this one again, we'll just go to this. This is going to be changed anyway to graphical interface more so. But whilst we're here, we might as well make it the same as our font. Push play. Okay, so we've got Rescue Neighbours in. Level 1, Zombie Panic. And there's our font, so you can see on the screen there. And that's not too dissimilar to what we see in the game there. Okay, it's got this actual outlining a shadow, so we can add that to it. I click on this font here. We've got shadow. Zoom in a bit so I can actually see it better. So shadow, offset. That to 1. Do that there. Okay, so we've got that shadow. Let's round this up to round numbers so we know what we're doing. 3.5 and make it 3. Okay. Now make the font here a bit bigger too. We'll make that a 35 font. Same goes for this one. So we're going to go and edit that blueprint. So my shadow here, back up to 1 so I actually see it. And this was a 3.5, wasn't it? Three 3.5 and 3. Okay. And we'll make that 35. 5. Again here. This 1. 3.5 and 3. Compile and let's play that. Cool. So now we've got some better looking UI elements going on here. I may make the health bar a bit bigger. So we'll go in here. Change, let's double the size of that. So we'll go to 2, we'll double it, so we'll go 260, 128. And, oh wait, if not that one, it's the, this one. 28. I don't have to go and change all these. Bollocks. 16. It's just a bit easier if I just do one. Delete it, rest, just then. W control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tick size to content. Rescue neighbours in. Level 1. Cool. Last neighbour. Exit level. Go. I like it. Okay, and I think that'll do for tonight. So we set up the loop of the game, each level. The level will start with a start screen. We updated some of the HUD stuff and then made the end screen appear as well. Next time, I'm going to work on the weapon system and start getting the weapon icon showing. Make it so you can change weapon a lot better and a lot easier. At the moment, I've just got it on a number press, but I'll probably do something different with that. And I'm thinking maybe do like a radial menu. So you can work on the controller just as well, so you can hold down the bumpers and get access to the radial menu, pick an item or pick a weapon. Because in the game you have items and weapons, so we can switch between the two. So I think next time we'll try and work on a radial menu and getting that working. Thanks very much for watching. If you've liked what I do and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you really like what I do and want to support me, you have a patreon.com/Ryan Laley. Patrons at the moment for just $1. I've got access to the item inspection series. They've got doors with keypads. They've got the whole entire swimming series. They've got UMG stuff with gamepad widgets, so using the gamepad to control menu and things like that. As well as access to other benefits as well, like Discord and voting and so forth. Big thank you to all my supporters on Patreon who kindly donate each month. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. It's really helping me out. And makes me want to continue doing more and more stuff with you. If you are unaware, we've changed the release schedule, so now you get a new video on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, along with a live stream every single weekend. Next week it is looking at a game. We're using a case study. If you have any suggestions for a case study, throw them into chat. I don't know what I've got in my mind at the moment, but what we do is we do a case study of a game, and then we will, following week, do a tutorial based on that case study, something that we observed, and try and recreate in Unreal. Be it the game, be it an old game, new game, an Unreal game, or Unity game, or even a 2D game, whatever it may be. We'll attempt to try and do something as voted on by you during the stream. So next week is the case study one. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment below in the chat, or in the chat, sorry. And either think about in the week what kind of game we're looking at. Last time we did Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and we done the runes and how we did those. So I'm happy to take suggestions for anyone else that has in mind what they'd like to see. It has to be something ideally that I can. What's this? Oh yeah, okay. We ideally it'd be something that we can do a tutorial on within an hour and a half. So nothing too lengthy. So yeah, keep that in mind. Kim's suggesting Devil May Cry. We could take a look at Devil May Cry. Yeah, could do. So I'll have a think during the week and see what we could do. It all depends if I actually got the game. I do have Devil May Cry, so I can check, or Devil May Cry 5 anyway, so I can check that out definitely. Anyway, that's all for me tonight. So thank you very much for tuning in. Patrons get access to the archive of the stream straight away. Otherwise, in 2 weeks' time, it'll be made public. So thanks all, and I'll see you all next weekend. Don't forget to watch the videos during the week. Thanks, guys.